Right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Death Becomes Her, 1992. Giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I dislike this one. There's the disc. It's going to be directed by Robert Zemeckis, who did the Back to the Future trilogy and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'll show you the other 2 discs and I'll go down my list. No, I'll go down my Netflix queue, sorry. I'll go 3 down. Tell you what's coming down the pike next week. This is Super Weapon Death Promise Wu-Tang double feature. Not much going on there. Last but not least, Death Ride to Osaka. All right. That's what I've got here for Juneteenth weekend. I don't have my son on Monday because his mother objected me to having him a late 11 days in a row or something ridiculous. I don't know. I think I told him that on the on the Sawyer Camp trail while we were chasing down some deer. And then all of a sudden she said, "Oh, I prefer you not have him on Monday." Oh, okay. So I guess I'll just sit and watch movies, do a grocery shopping on Monday because I have the day off. Too many dang federal holidays in this country. It's becoming like France, man. Oui. Leave work at 2 to get a foot massage. That's an inside joke. I have this coworker. I think she's the vice president of the company. Oh man. And her name, not coincidentally, is Stephanie. And I just walked. She asked me to do something. I just walked straight up to her. I was like this close. I have no shame. Anyways, working in downtown San Francisco reminds me of the good old days. I don't know. I'm having so much fun there. I hope they never get rid of me on when the lady from maternity leave comes back. It's such a fun place to work. I love it. Let's see what the movie poster says on this thing. It says, trying to enlarge it and scroll up. It says, in one small bottle, the secret. In one small bottle, the fountain of youth, the secret of eternal life, the power of an ancient potion. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Death Becomes Her is a 1992 U.S. satirical black comedy fantasy film. I thought it was dumb, especially the joke about Meryl Streep says about Republican Bruce Willis. Film directed and produced by Robert Zemeckis. I talked about him. Written by David Cope and Martin Donovan. It stars Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn as rivals who fight for the affections of the same man, Bruce Willis. And they drink a magic potion that promises eternal youth but causes unpleasant side effects. Filming began in December 1991 and concluded in April 1992, and it was shot entirely in Los Angeles. Released on July 31st, 1992 to mixed reviews from critics. Death Becomes Her was a commercial success, grossing $149 million worldwide on a $55 million budget. It just goes to show you how stupid film audiences are. They'll pay to see Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis together. Not to mention Isabella Rossellini. I think Isabella Rossellini is a reason to watch this. It's PG-13, but it has some revealing scenes, I guess. The film was a pioneer in the use of computer-generated effects. It went on to win the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. I remember Isabella Rossellini from Blue Velvet. Now that is a great film, Blue Velvet. In 1978, narcissistic actress Madeline Ashton. Is this a ripoff on All About Eve? Performs in the poorly received, or maybe it was Sunset Boulevard they ripped off. Actress Madeline Ashton performs in the poorly received Broadway musical Songbird. She invites longtime frenemy Helen Sharp, an aspiring writer, backstage along with Helen's fiance, plastic surgeon Ernest Menville. Smitten with Madeline, Ernest breaks off his engagement with Helen to marry Madeline instead. 7 years later, Helen is obese, depressed, and committed to a psychiatric hospital where she plots revenge on Madeline. Another 7 years later, Madeline and Ernest live in Beverly Hills, but they are miserable. Madeline's acting career has declined, and Ernest, now an alcoholic, has been reduced to working as a reconstructive mortician. Receiving an invitation to a party celebrating Helen's new book, Madeline rushes to a spa where she regularly receives facial treatments. Understanding Madeline's desperation, the spa owner gives her the business card of Leslie von Ruhmen, a mysterious wealthy socialite who specializes in rejuvenation. Madeline and Ernest attend the party for Helen's novel Forever Young and discover that Helen is slim, glamorous, and youthful. Dumbfounded and depressed by Helen's appearance, Madeline witnesses Helen tell Ernest that she blames Madeline for his career decline. After the soiree, Madeline visits her young lover but discovers he is with a woman his age. Dejected, Madeline drives to Lyle's home. Lyle, claiming to be 71 but looking decades younger, reveals a potion that promises eternal life and an everlasting youthful appearance. Madeline purchases and drinks the potion and is rejuvenated, regaining her beauty. As a condition of purchase, Lyle warns Madeline to disappear from the public eye after 10 years to conceal the potion's existence and to treat her body well. Oh, that doesn't happen. This is 104 minutes, release date July 31st, 1992, Universal Pictures, production company and distributor. I thought Robert Zemeckis was the producer. All right. Helen seduces Ernest and she convinces him to kill Madeline. When Madeline returns home, she and Ernest argue, during which the latter pushes her down the stairs, breaking her neck. Believing Madeline dead, Ernest phones Helen for advice, but he drops the phone in shock when he sees Madeline approach him with her head twisted backward. At Madeline's request, Ernest drives her to the emergency room. There, Madeline is told by the doctor she is technically dead, and she faints. She is taken to the morgue due to her body having no pulse and a temperature below 80 Fahrenheit or 27 Celsius. After rescuing Madeline, Ernest considers her reanimation a miracle, and he uses his skill as a mortician to repair her body at home. Helen demands information about Madeline's situation, overhearing Madeline and Ernest discussing their plot to kill her. Madeline shoots Helen with a shotgun. The blast leaves Helen with a hole in her torso, but otherwise unharmed, revealing that she has also taken Lisley's potion. The two briefly fight before apologizing and reconciling their friendship. Fed up with the pair, Ernest prepares to leave, but Helen and Madeline convince him to repair their bodies one last time, realizing they will need regular maintenance. They scheme to have Ernest drink the potion to ensure his permanent availability. The pair knock out Ernest and they bring him to Lisley, who I'm having trouble with this name. I think I can say Isabella Rossellini better than her character name, who offers to give him the potion free of charge in exchange for his surgical skills. Ernest is very tempted, but after having some thought, he fundamentally disagrees with the idea of immortality, especially considering the consequences Madeline and Helen are already suffering. They're starting to peel. He pockets the potion and he flees, but he becomes trapped on the roof. Helen and Madeline implore Ernest to drink the potion to survive an impending fall. Ernest, realizing that they only need him for their own selfish reasons, refuses, and he drops it to the ground. But after falling, he lands in Isabella Rossellini's pool and he escapes. Isabella Rossellini banishes Madeline and Helen from her group, leaving the pair to rely on each other for companionship and maintenance. 37 years later, Madeline and Helen attend Ernest's funeral, where he's eulogized as having lived an adventurous and fulfilling life with a large family and friends. Now appearing grotesque with cracked, peeling paint and putty covering most of their gray and rotting flesh, they mock the eulogy and they leave early. Outside the church, Helen slips on a drop can of spray paint and she falls down a flight of steps, dragging Madeline with her after she refuses to help her. Before Bruce Willis was cast, Kevin Kline was the first choice to play Dr. Ernest Menville. However, he fell out of the project due to a pay dispute with the studio. Jeff Bridges and Nick Nolte were both considered before Willis was eventually cast. Death Becomes Her was technically a technologically complex film to make, and it represented a major advancement in the use of CGI. Under the pioneering direction of Industrial Light and Magic. I think they're located in San Francisco, Presidio. It was the first film where computer-generated skin texture was used in the shot where Madeline resets her neck after her head is smashed with a shovel by Helen, creating the sequences where Madeline's head is dislocated and facing the wrong way around. Involved a combination of blue screen technology and animatropic model created by Amalgamated Dynamics and prosthetic makeup effects on Meryl Streep to create the look of a twisted neck. The digital advancements pioneered on Death Becomes Her would be incorporated into Industrial Light and Magic's next project, Jurassic Park, released by Universal only a year later. The two films also shared cinematographer Dean Cundley and production designer Rick Carter. I have not seen Jurassic Park, nor do I have an interest. Oh, British Crumpet Man is back in the chat room. He says, "Hello, handsome. Bruce Willis plays a meek character in this." It must be Saturday morning because British Crumpet Man is in the chat room. The production had a fair number of mishaps. In the scene where Helen and Madeline are battling with shovels, Streep accidentally cut Goldie Hawn's face, leaving a faint scar. Streep admitted that she disliked working on the project that focused so heavily on special effects, and she vowed never to work on another film with heavy special effects again, saying, "My first, my last, my only. I think it's tedious. Whatever concentration you can apply to that kind of comedy is just shredded. You stand there like a piece of machinery. They should get machinery to do it. I loved how it turned out, but it's not fun to act to a lampstand, pretending this is Goldie right here. Oh, no, sorry. I'm sorry, Bob. She went off the mark by 5 centimeters. Now her head won't match her neck. It was like being at the dentist." Principal photography for Death Becomes Her began on December 9th, 1991, and it wrapped up on April 7th, 1992. The film was shot entirely in Los Angeles, and it features several locations frequently used in film and television, including the Greystone Mansion, Ernest's funeral home, and the Ebell of Los Angeles, Helen's book party. The exterior of Madeline and Ernest's mansion is located at 1125 Oak Grove Avenue in San Marino, but the interior was a set built on a soundstage. The entire scene where Helen and Madeline tumbled down a set of stairs outside a chapel was filmed at Mount St. Mary's University in Brentwood. Multiple scenes that were filmed were omitted from the film's final cut. Director Robert Zemeckis decided on cutting the scenes to accelerate the film's pacing and to eliminate extraneous jokes. I wasn't laughing at any of the jokes in this movie. I thought they were particularly stupid, especially the Meryl Streep jokes. I think I like Goldie Hawn better. I don't know why. Most dramatically, the original, and she always had those bug eyes. And she was married to Kurt Russell. That's the name of that I was trying to figure out. That ending featured Ernest after he would. Oh, more dramatically, the original ending was entirely redone after test audiences reacted negatively to it. That ending featuring Ernest after he fled Isabella Rossellini's party, meeting a bartender, Tracy Ullman. Who helps him fake his death to evade Madeline and Helen. The two women encounter Ernest and the bartender 27 years later, living happily as a retired couple, while Madeline and Helen give no sign that they were enjoying their eternal existence. This is like Zardoz, or it's like Zardoz, Sunset Boulevard, and All About Eve. Kind of ripped off 3 movies. Okay, Zemeckis thought the ending was too happy and opted for a darker ending featured in the final cut. Ullman was one of the 5 actors with speaking roles in the film to be eliminated. Other scenes that were eliminated include one in which Madeline talks to her agent, Jonathan Silverman, and one in which Ernest removes a frozen Madeline from the kitchen freezer. He has he has her stored in. Some of the scenes can be viewed in the original theatrical trailer. Death Becomes Her was a box office success, and it opened at number one at the box office with $12,110,355 the same weekend as Buffy the Vampire Slayer and BB's Kids. It went on to earn over $58.4 million domestically and $90.6 million internationally. In Taipei, Death Becomes Her set a box office record by earning $269,310 in 2 days, making it the biggest opening ever for overseas distributor United International Pictures. The film's release on DVD was called appallingly bad due to the quality of its transfer, which was said to suffer from excessive grain, blur, and muted colors. A BBC review described it as horrible and sloppy. Many online DVD forum users speculated that the DVD transfer was taken from the Laserdisc edition of the film and called for a restorative release. Death Becomes Her was initially distributed in open matte full screen 1.33 to 1 edition in the US, while the widescreen version with its theatrical aspect ratio 1.85 to 1 was released worldwide. The latter version has also been mistakenly labeled anamorphic. It was later released in North America on Blu-ray from Shout Factory in 2016. The DVD that I got only had like some kind of a very short background in terms of video and some and a bunch of lettering about the Zemeckis or something. I don't even remember. Death Becomes Her received mixed reviews from critics. Rotten Tomatoes gave the film a 55% based on reviews from 55 critics, with the consensus Hawn and Streep are as fabulous as Death Becomes Her's innovative special effects. Zemeckis' satire, on the other hand, is as hollow as the world it mocks. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 56 based on 24 critics, indicating mixed or average views. I rated it below average. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B or on an A plus to F scale, which is what Yahoo Movies used to do. I like that scale better, but I'm using the Netflix DVD scale now. 2 out of 5 stars. Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert both gave Death Becomes Her a thumbs down, commenting that while the film had great special effects, it lacked any real substance or character depth. Okay, this one won Best Visual Effects at the Academy Awards and BAFTA. It was nominated for Best Actress, Meryl Streep, at the Golden Globe Award. I didn't like Meryl Streep in this one. I thought she was annoying. Death Becomes Her has acquired a significant cult following, especially from the LGBT community. Ooh! In RogerEbert.com, Jessica Richley wrote, "Time has been kind to Death Becomes Her, and the mordantly funny eye it turns to Hollywood pretense and our cultural inability to forgive women for aging. With the virtual extinction of Hollywood's interest in women over 30, it's a real pleasure to see a film centered on and held down by 2 actresses as strong as Streep and Hawn." An article in Vanity Fair titled "The Gloriously Queer Afterlife of Death Becomes Her" called the film a gay cult classic. and a touchstone of the queer community. The movie is screened in bars during Pride Month, while the characters of Madeline and Helen are favorites of drag performers. In this vein, the movie inspired a Death Becomes Her themed runaway show on season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race. The winner of season 5, Jinx Monsoon, has cited the movie as an inspiration to become a drag queen. Oh no. One more reason to dislike this movie. Sorry, British Crumpet Man. My favorite movie director. That's a good question. Let me think. British Crumpet Man wants to watch movies with me. He's asking me who's my favorite movie director. Maybe Coffin Joe? Meryl Streep is always annoying. Yeah. She sounds like she's got that annoying mouse voice. Like you step on a mouse and it goes ee! That's what Meryl Streep sounds like. Jinx has participated in Death Becomes Her themed photo shoots. And in 2008, they played Madeline in a drag stage show parody called Drag Becomes Her alongside season 6 contestant Ben de la Creme. Ben de la Creme? Tom Campbell, an executive producer of RuPaul's Drag Race, reflected on the appeal of the movie to gay audiences. Oh, I bet it's popular in San Francisco. They're fighting for beauty. They're against the system. They're also villains, but we understand their complexity. We root for the undead divas because they're trying to win a game that's rigged against them. And to borrow an aposcyphal quote from Ginger Rogers, they sort of have to do it backwards and in high heels. In December 2017, a Broadway musical adaptation of Death Becomes Her was reported to be in development, with Kevin Chenoweth tapped to star. The book is written by Marco Pinnet and has original score by Julia Madison and Noel Carey. In April 2023, an industry reading of the musical was held, featuring Mega Hilty as Madeline, Jennifer Simard as Helen, and Christopher Cyber as Ernest. I bet you the musical played in San Francisco. A live watch along of a movie. That's what British Crumpet Man recommends. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to do that. I don't think I have the technical expertise for that, but I have seen other people do it. And it's like clickbait. You think you're watching the movie, but you're just watching two guys talking to each other. And I don't know about you, but I immediately lose interest because I'm looking for the movie, not two guys talking to each other. All right, let's see what I got coming down the pike for next week. I've got The Dead Next Door, 1989, zombie movie, and Dead Women in Lingerie, 1991, and Death Collector, 1988. That's what's coming down the pike. My favorite decade for movies. British Crumpet Man is asking me, what's my favorite decade for movies? It's amazing how much British Crumpet Man and Karate Man have in common. They both played the same video games. My favorite decade for movies. 1970s. That's the decade that I grew up as a kid. I'll go with 1970s. So I answered all of British Crumpet Man's questions. I went over Death Becomes Her probably a little too much. And I'm up over 30 minutes on this review. Well, thanks for coming to the chat room, British Crumpet Man. I probably won't see him again till next Saturday morning. Laters.